can't say, you know what I mean? We're excited. I know it's coming out next year on Hulu. Hulu picked it up, but you've completely wrapped, right? The first season?
No, we're about to start shooting the first season.
Oh, you haven't even started?
No.
Oh my gosh, I thought you guys started back in February or something.
No, we shot the pilot in February.
Gotcha.
Picked up maybe a month ago.
Oh my gosh.
There was a writer's strike, or there was a potential writer's strike in the industry. So there was kind of, well, are we going to get picked up or are we not going to get picked up? So it was very last minute. So we now start shooting in probably 3 weeks. And you guys have probably seen Gossip Girl and the OC. So Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage are showrunners, i.e. my boss, who I have to be nice to, bosses. And the show is going to be amazing. Somebody in the green room just said, they gave me their card and said, "Hi, I'm from Marvel. Just so you know, like around our company, we hope and we believe that this show is going to be the next big thing."
Yeah, they're stoked.
So,
for sure.
So I hope, the show is the next big thing, obviously, and I hope that I still have a job at the end of it. And I get recast.
Yeah, right. Brian came on too. What a cool guy. I wrote, I guess, probably the first pilot, right? He's sort of still involved. How was that? My gosh, how was approaching that subject matter and that material?
So Brian came to set.
Right.
I think Josh and Stephanie adapted it from the comics, which is a hard job in itself, because you want to stay true to the loyal fans who read the comics, but at the same time, you kind of want to do your own thing. They want to make it their own, and they want to drag out those comic books as long as possible for as many seasons as they possibly can. So meeting Brian was also, he's such a humble guy. I was expecting such a brilliant mind to come in with some sort of arrogance, but no, they're nicest.
Awesome. Had you read obviously I'm assuming you read the comics now. Have you been a comic fan, or is that something you kind of came into just because of this?
Yeah. I wasn't really
that's okay.
a massive comic book.
They usually don't pitchfork.
But I've read the comics and they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're really, really cool. And it's fun to, you normally read a script and you create this character, but it's kind of fun seeing. I feel personally a lot of pride in taking on this role, because I know that Chase Stein, the character I play, means a lot to people, and I feel some sort of responsibility in making sure that I do somewhat of a decent job.
Yeah, because he's the athletic character, but then is also like this really brilliant engineer. How have you approached that in terms of? Again, I know you're starting shooting, but just sort of your research and stuff. That's sort of that kind of double-edged sort of thing.
Well, certain things are changing about him. He's not really exactly. I think my character, out of all the characters, probably changed the most in the show. But I've done my research on the comics.
Sure.
James, who's here, plays my dad on the show. So that's been awesome, working with just very, very, very talented actors. So that helps. And I'm just pumped to get going. Obviously, the more I see, the more scripts I read, the more I can kind of dive into this character. Because in a way, when I got the show, so we had on my phone, I have an 8-digit passcode, not a 6-digit passcode, because Marvel are very secretive. And
did you get a different passcode?
Oh, different passcode, different email accounts, different everything. So if someone hacked me, they still would not get the scripts. They would have to hack the Marvel kind of enterprise in order to get the scripts. So Marvel don't really care. If I get hacked, they get hacked.
Oh my god. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So will you have it as a separate phone, completely on your personal phone?
Basically, yeah. It's it's a phone within a.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
New system within a system.
Yeah. You shouldn't even be talking to us right now.
There's Marvel's watching.
Yeah, there's Marvel big brother somewhere. Yeah, you say you already said the character's changing a little bit.
Yeah, and they'll probably have got me for that, to be honest.
Yeah. What do you mean? In terms of just the things he's into?
I think I think in the pilot he was. Not the pilot. I think in the comic book he's read and written as. No offense to Brian, because obviously he wrote it as that, but like a bit of a dumb joke.
Right.
And I think that Josh and Stephanie know that audiences and generations have developed, and that's not that interesting to watch as an audience. So we're going to hopefully make him a bit more layered, a bit not just one-dimensional. We're going to actually make Chase Stein interesting, and that also is partly my responsibility to make sure that I achieve that. So if he's the most boring character on the pilot, just blame me.
Yeah. Were you involved at all in sort of those decisions? Sometimes, I know you'll be making like acting choices, obviously, but where's that all coming from, Brian said?
It's a lot, a lot of it. I mean, I don't have too much say.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm just very obviously grateful to work for such a company.
For sure.
And to be part of this comic book series. So I know my place. I love Josh and Stephanie, and I'm always like, I love collaborating, but at the same time, they are my bosses, and what they put on the paper, I'm paid to do. So I would always try and make them happy.
Amazing. And when you start that?
We start in like 3 weeks.
Amazing. Where at?
In LA.
All right, very cool.
So I get to sleep in my own bed,
Yeah.
which is massive. Like when I signed on to the show, I had not read the script. It's kind of a weird story. I called Josh and I said, "Hey Josh, you want me to come and test tomorrow?" For those who don't know this, so you go into casting, you do a pre-read, you read with the casting director, then you get called to the producers, and you get called to the directors, and then you get taken to the network, which is the most intimidating experience of your life. It's basically like this, but performing, and you only get one shot. And there's like 50 people in the room. Sometimes the spotlight comes on you, the sweats happen, the shakes happen. It's awkward.
Yeah.
And so I called Josh, and before my test to the network, I said, "Josh, I need to read a script. I'm about to sign on for 7 years. I'm about to sign a 7-year contract.
Oh my gosh.
One day I'm going to be married, and I wouldn't marry someone without meeting them. So I need to know. I need to see the script." So he thankfully gave me all the information. I tried so hard. He's like, "Just please."
He gave you your 8-digit passcode. He's like, that's it.
He just he gave me some information. He goes, "Look, I really want you to come in tomorrow. I really like you as an actor." And Josh's reputation around town is stellar, and so I couldn't miss the opportunity. And so I went in and didn't mess up.
Wow, pretty blind then,
Yeah.
huh, to the whole project. Oh my gosh, amazing. Cool.